muckers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. Thank you so much for clicking on the second video I'm uploading today. If you've seen the first one or this is your first one, I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your time, and let's go in for our mucker hug. So thank you so much for being here and thank you for being part of this conversation, and specifically with this one. Okay, so what we're going to be doing in today's video is a little bit different than what we normally do. So I've been getting a lot of comments over all my videos recently, and it's kind of asking my opinion on certain different things that have happened recently, and it's important to note, I'm sorry, I'm getting comfortable because this is gonna be a long one. It's important to note that there have been so many things that have happened over the past year, even though it's only been like a couple months, but also last year and the year before that, and I always do get comments from all of the muckers out there, and even people who just watch my channel and, you know, are not subscribed, asking for my take on certain things in a little bit more detail, or maybe just clarifying certain things. So I thought, what perfect time, I have a little bit of time while I'm back home, that I did out a post and I was like, hey, muckers, there have been so many things that have happened recently. I'm not going to hold back. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. Some of them I'll answer rapid fire and do really quickly, and then others I'll go into a little bit more detail. I have a bunch here and I'm really grateful that y'all asked your questions. So down below you can ask more questions and we can do this again. So we're just going to go through these. Some of them again I'm going to answer quite quickly, and then others I'm going to go into more detail with. But the first one I have right here says, did you see the drama between Creepshow Art and Emily Artful? And what is your opinion on it? My opinion on it is that Creepshow Art, this is going to be one of the quick ones, Creepshow Art is insanely guilty and lives in a bubble of her own delusions, and Emily Artful has been the victim of Shannon's continuous stalking and obsession for most of her life. Anyways, someone said, what happened with Tana Mojo? So, Tana has been releasing different products throughout these years. Most of them have been scams. Most of them her fans don't even get them. She's definitely someone who prioritizes making money over satisfactory responses from her fans, or even them having a good experience, and I think this has been seen. Even recently she was going to do a show with Bryce Hall and it got cancelled because of COVID, obviously. I mean, I don't know why they were organizing, because it wasn't even just like a show, it was like a meet and greet show, and organizing that, and it was a full mess. Anyway, it got cancelled. I'm pretty sure it was like a New Year's Eve party, which again is just a wild thought, and they were inviting fans for a very high cost. It was like $200, even more. So she's been doing that, and she's been releasing all of these different products throughout the years, and especially recently she has been focusing on releasing Dizzy, which is her new wine. Now, people have been asking me for my opinion on this, and obviously for me to try it, because I can, you know, import it from America and drink it here, because, you know, again, I can drink over here. I really don't trust Tana Mojo to drink whatever alcohol she is giving. I am not willing to put my body through it. So I will not be trying it. However, she's released this new wine company, and it's wine in a can, and apparently it's a really high percentage of alcohol. Of course it is if it's Tana. My take on that is it's the most on-brand thing Tana has done as of recent, and I think it makes a lot of sense with her, and Tana is coming out with, it's called Tannabis, so y'all know what it's gonna be. So Tana is seemingly going for more of the products that make sense with her personality, and she has been coming back to YouTube with more storytime videos and more vlogs, and she's been more engaged than she's ever been. In terms of drama, I don't think anything really has been happening with Tana in that retrospect, but that's what she's been doing. Someone said, who's a YouTuber you think is hated on the most but doesn't deserve it? Whew! This is a good one. A YouTuber that's very hated that I think doesn't deserve it. I don't know. And I don't mean that to like bullshit. All I'm saying is I feel like when a YouTuber gets a lot of hate, 9 times out of 10 it's very warranted. And you can have your opinion on that as well, and I would love to hear it. And you can let me know if you think that there's a YouTuber that gets a lot of hate that doesn't deserve it. However, I feel like if someone's getting an overwhelming amount of backlash, normally for a certain reason that is happening. So I don't necessarily know how to answer that. Sorry, I really don't. I feel like with a lot of these people, like, almost they deserve more backlash than what they get. That's my take on that. I have a feeling Trisha is going to become a sort of family channel after she has the baby. What are your thoughts? I'm scared. Trisha did touch upon this in a live stream, and I haven't made a video on it, nor do I feel the need to make one, because I'm going to tell you right here. Trisha has said that she would love to document when the baby is born, all these vlogs, but she is aware that family channels can be exploitative. I think with the influx of pregnancy content Trisha's already made, it is a teaser of what's to come, and when this baby is born, I can guarantee you that that baby will be used in titles and thumbnails and exploited like all the rest of the family channels. I think Trisha will be no exception. I think Trisha might even be one of the worst ones, because she'll be aware of, she can get out of a controversy if she puts her baby's face in the thumbnail. And as horrible as that sounds, you know I'm telling the truth. So that's my take on that. What's your opinion on Drew Monson? I think Drew got wound up in a crowd of people with Shane Dawson and the rest of them that he didn't necessarily belong in. He didn't really fit into it, and it's very clear in the videos. He was always kind of bullied and made fun of by Shane, by Ryland, even by Garrett, who I love. They were all doing like banter back and forth with each other, but it was always very much so about Drew when he wasn't there. Because Drew was, you know, a part of the vlogs with Shane for a good amount of time, and then he kind of went away from them, and they would always make jokes even when he wasn't there. But even when he was there, the jokes that Shane and Ryland specifically would make about the likes of Drew and Garrett were always just really mean and mean-spirited. So I feel like whenever I watch Drew Monson's videos now, he seems like a really laid-back, funny person, and it just seemed like within that time he probably got, you know, up in that group, because, you know, when you're in LA, you're friends with people who are similar, and he got in with Shane's friend group, and to get out of it was probably a lot more drama whenever you're in the moment of making those videos, and I'm sure that he was getting the influx of, you know, popularity. But Drew has spoken in recent about the fact that he didn't really want that. He doesn't feel the need that he needs all of these subscribers or all these views. He's just doing his own thing, and I really respect Drew Monson, and I really enjoy his content. And my opinion, as I'm saying, is that, but also I really do feel like he was done dirty in that friend group with Shane, and I feel like they were unnecessarily mean towards him. Someone said, what is your opinion on Eugenia Cooney? My opinion on Eugenia Cooney is that she knows what she's doing when it comes to showing off her body. Eugenia will specifically set up the camera in a high location looking down, which makes the regular person look a lot smaller than what they are. She does this and she'll stand at the back of the room on most of her Twitch streams so you can see full body, and she is aware of criticism and backlash that she gets in relation to almost flexing her body, because again, she speaks about the fact that people are speaking about her body when they don't know what's going on with her, that she's healthy, and that people are just being rude and hateful and spiteful, and there are all those people, and I'm not excusing that whatsoever. And I was seeing a lot of people talk about, I recently made a Eugenia video about the fact that should her content be restricted in any way? Should it be age restricted? Should she be demonetized? Should she have a platform? And I saw a great comment from, I think it was Jax, which was basically, Eugenia in her videos is not showing what she is and isn't eating. You know, her body is a reflection of that. And, you know, people take what they want from that, and whenever she addresses that she's healthy and people don't know, etc., I completely get that that is very dangerous. However, I feel that with creators that are making unhealthy living in terms of on camera more apparent, like Nikocado Avocado, like eating all this food, and he's openly saying in his videos that he's, you know, pushing his body to the max, he's trying to reach this new goal of new weight, like reaching more and more and more. I do think that is equally as dangerous, if not more, because he's sitting down and showing how he's doing it, whereas Eugenia's just coming on and sitting. So my opinion on her is that I always wish her the best, and whatever she is going through, clearly, I hope she gets the help she needs. I know that she has been given that in the past, and she hasn't really been reciprocated of that, and, you know, again, I don't want to speak for her, and I'm not going to, so I'm just going to say that I wish her the best, and it's sad to see. Someone said, is Jeffree Starfish Pets another cash grab? Well, I did an order of it to do a review, and I never got mine, so, I mean, as of yet, I would say yes from personal experience. What's your thoughts on his new skincare line? He's had so much plastic surgery and beauty treatments that even if it was a good idea, I couldn't take him seriously. I never look at him and think, wow, you have good skin. Like, nah. Alright, so Jeffree Star Pets, I think he was just branching out because Jeffree Star Cosmetics is reaching the end of its days. And I'm not saying that in a negative way in terms of just being a bitch. I think there's only so many makeup palettes you can release before it starts getting repetitive, and Jeffree is clearly seeing the lack of sales from this whenever we're seeing that things aren't selling out, and there's a lot going on mystery boxes, which is basically just a way of selling things that people aren't buying because it's mysterious. What are you gonna get? So I think that Jeffree Star Pets was his first venture out into a new company. I haven't seen many reviews of it. I don't really know how the sales are doing. In terms of his skincare, I think Jeffree Star Skin makes as much sense as Jeffree Star Cosmetics. In terms of his plastic surgery, I don't care if someone gets plastic surgery. It is up to them. If it makes them feel better, great for them. If Jeffree has all this plastic surgery and he feels better with it, good for him. It's not my face, it's not my body. I really, really, really don't care. In terms of beauty treatments, I think it's very apparent with these big celebrities that do skincare lines to know that, yeah, they have great skin, but they also do get the highest of highest dermatologist treatment and skincare peels and all of this. So that is something to note. Like, you're not going to have glowing skin like Jeffree or Kim Kardashian or any of these people by using their products. But one thing I will say is whenever Jeffree Star Cosmetics launched, not in recent years because the quality has kind of dropped off, from what I've heard. But in the start of Jeffree Star Cosmetics, it was really one of the goats of the space, and people were saying how even if they didn't like Jeffree, the quality was amazing. And so I think the start of his skincare might see that as well, where it's great quality. So I'm not gonna knock it till I try it. I'm not gonna hate on it whenever it isn't released yet. In terms of plastic surgery, I don't think he's deceiving anyone by saying, he's never said, you know, having the skincare line will get you to look like me. No, he's just saying it will be good for your skin and stuff like that. So I kind of disagree in terms of you about the plastic surgery and beauty treatments, because I think it is kind of a given whenever a celebrity is doing a skincare line like Kylie's skin. So that's my take on that. Someone said, do you think Trisha will ever change? No. The reason for this is because I thought that Trisha had changed whenever Trisha was on Frenemies. Trisha was going through this new peak, and Trisha, retrospectively looking back, was definitely feeding off of the good attention and people really being sympathetic towards her and liking her takes on drama for the first time. So she kind of morphed her takes and her opinions to kind of cater towards that audience that were being so nice to her in the first place. And that was the redemption arc we saw, but clearly it wasn't real because months later she cracked and everything went back to the way it was. And again, there are mental problems there, and I completely understand that as well. But with Trisha, it's very clear that she has been faking a lot, and it's very clear that she faked the redemption arc into saying things that she knew would be politically correct that people would love within the drama space, or going against people that are already very disliked, so then Trisha came out on top. So in terms of do I think Trisha will ever change, I mean, becoming a mother will be the biggest test to that. So I think maybe after that, maybe she won't be interested in the YouTube lifestyle and all this. Do I believe it? No. Do I think she'll ever change? No. I never watched Shane before the cancellation, but his new lawsuit video seems like he is back to his old, problematic, to say the least, harmful and inappropriate content. The stuff he was saying about Ryland, and basically he was saying that he had a dream that Ryland had a pussy, and making Ryland really uncomfortable, and making really sexual jokes towards his videographer, and it was just really awkward. Do you think he's back to his old harmful ways in this one? No. I think we're seeing a glimpse of Shane being relaxed again, and normal Shane is that content that we're aware of with Shane. You know, he can take all the breaks he wants, but that's fundamentally what his style of choosing words is. But I don't think we're going to see Shane go back to that old content, at least for a long time, because Shane is going to be on his best behavior on YouTube for quite some time now, because he can see that as quickly as he gets these views again, they will go down again if he messes up in any way. And this is like, we all mess up as humans, but with Shane, it was not just messing up once or twice, it was continuously. So I think he's very strictly looking at what his digital footprint is moving forward after this break, because he's saying that he's going to therapy, he's getting help, he's not finding these things funny anymore. So for him to kind of go back to that style, it would basically just bring us all back to zero again, and back to last summer. So I don't think that he is back to those ways publicly. I can't say about privately, but publicly. Someone said, what is your real thoughts on Emma quitting YouTube? Emma Chamberlain. Do you think it's for real? I'm devastated because I found her through you over a year ago. I'm really sad that Emma quit YouTube. She was one of the only YouTubers I had left for comfort, and I understand that she's taking a break because it got too much. She felt too much burnout, she felt too much pressure, she wants to do other things in her life, and I respect that. And hey, it's not up to us if a YouTuber makes all this money, and whatever, you know, they do with their money, if they stay on YouTube and make more, the likes of PewDiePie and Jenna Marbles at a time, or if they, you know, make all their money and then have all this money to go and do other ventures like modeling for Emma. That being said, I would be lying that if a fan, I get really sad that the last update we had from Emma was months and months ago on YouTube, and she never once made a video, or even on her own social medias, addressed the fact that she would be leaving. I think it's, and as much as I love her, I think it's very disingenuous, and it really pisses me off that you're just not keeping up a level of, what's the word, consistency and in a way, vulnerability with your audience who, you know, have been there from the start. It's not saying that you have to tell them everything, but at least not go on Call Her Daddy and say that you're quitting YouTube, but sit down in a YouTube video, or at least a tweet or an Instagram story. So that's my take on it. Someone said, have you heard about Peter Monson? Yes, I have, and out of respect of his family, friends, and the people involved in this car crash, I don't want to touch upon it any more than just saying that I'm sending Peter and Alex and his family and the families of everyone involved all my love and all my best, and I know all the muckers are too, and that is what I'm going to say on that. I did do a tweet sending everyone my best. I don't think that it's my place to speak on it any further than that whenever Alex has openly said that, you know, can we be respectful and can we, you know, give us time, and I fully respect that, and I'm sending him all my best, Peter, and I'm sending everyone involved all my best. Someone said, do you think D'Angelo Wallace will come back with something big, or do you think he will continue to post a few times a year like he does now? I miss his commentary and wish he would comment on current situations with H3, Trisha, and different things on YouTube. D'Angelo Wallace is an interesting one for me because he was one of the best creators, best breakout creators. His documentary on Shane was really the last thing that did it for Shane's career. His videos on H3 were always spot on. He did one on influencers partying during the pandemic, which was great. I think his style of content is just so marvelous. I think his way of addressing things, his research, his editing, I think it's all perfect. I think people have a really big expectation for D'Angelo to upload at a normal quantity that we expect of normal YouTubers, just because, you know, we're so in burnout culture where we think that overworking ourselves is normal and stuff, and I think that it's great seeing D'Angelo be able to, like, work on projects and upload, like, 1 or 2 a year and it be great and knowing it's gonna be great. I would love to see more videos from him, though, because they're always great and there are so many things that he's kind of missed out on talking about. I do think he'll come back. I mean, I've never spoken to him before, but he is really passionate in his videos, and it takes a certain level of passion to do that amount of great research and editing, so I think for sure he will be back, and he is a great, great, great creator. Someone said, is there a YouTuber you think will make a successful comeback in business or YouTube after being cancelled? I think that Shane, if he does this podcast that he says he wants to do, and he wants to go down the conspiracy route, I think we could really see Shane going back to not what he was whenever he was getting 15 million views with Jeffrey. And I feel like if Shane and Jeffrey ever came together again, they would never get that amount of views. I think we're just in a different time and people really don't care about the beauty space anymore. But I think if Shane went back to the conspiracy roots, that even the locals, the general public, and, you know, people who watch Shane, people who watched Shane will be interested in it, past the fact that it's Shane, because people like conspiracies, and I think Shane will be able to know that people want that and go back to that, which is why he's kind of hinting at it already. I'm not good at questions, but is there anyone that you miss reporting on that is no longer relevant on YouTube? I miss Taddy. Taddy was very interesting on YouTube. From someone who was so uninteresting on YouTube, no disrespect, she was so uninteresting in YouTube for years upon years, and then she was the most interesting person in the world getting involved in all this drama, and now we never hear from her anymore, and she was in all these lawsuits. Like, for a time, Taddy Westbrook was the main person giving us drama, so I would say Taddy's my answer on that. Someone said Wendy Williams, in a kind-hearted manner, please, not to shame her. Listen, I'm sending Wendy Williams all my best, but I think it is incredibly shady that her team are very obviously trying to just boot her out of the show and replace her with Sherry Shepherd. They basically said that Wendy has health complications and she's been gone from her show for quite some time, and there have been guest hosts. Her team have said to TMZ that if Wendy is not in good health by September, that they are completely changing the name of the show and it's going to be the Sherry Shepherd Show. I think that is disgusting. I think they're writing over Wendy's legacy, whether you like Wendy or not. She is one of the media veterans who went back to radio from the start. And I think there have been so many pop culture moments, for better or for worse, with Wendy. And I think the fact that they're willing to just rewrite her legacy and rewrite over her is disgusting, and I'm not here for it. Give Sherry Shepherd her own show. She's great at doing it. Give her her own show and keep Wendy's show, or just end it. And again, there are employees of the Wendy show. Bring them over to the Sherry Shepherd show. It doesn't have to rewrite and completely tarnish Wendy's, you know, what she was. So that's my take on it, and I'm sending her all my best. What's your opinion on Escape the Night? I do not like Escape the Night. It's Joey Graceffa's YouTube original show. I think it's boring. I do not like it. I think it's a really low-budget version of American Horror Story with awful actors. That's my take on it. Sorry. Looking back with everything that happened with James, Shane, Jeffree, and Taddy, what is your opinion on the whole bi-sister drama as a whole? Like, looking from 2022 and everything we know, has your opinion on what happened in 2019 changed? I think that what we know about James Charles now, there was a pattern of behavior that Taddy Westbrook, for sure, she wasn't in the right for saying it, because she was saying it about a child at this stage. She was saying it about a 19 or 18-year-old James Charles, and again, he wasn't 21 or anything at this stage. So I think at the moment, I think it was incredibly inappropriate. I think it was incredibly wrong for Ty to do that. I think Shane and Jeffree were incredibly wrong for what they did in that. However, I would love to see them have that conversation about James whenever he was of age, not whenever he was like 16 and 17, because I think it adds so much context, and it provides so much to the story, rather than talking about basically a child, come on, rather than James still doing this stuff as an adult. So that's my take on it. And it's also interesting that James never seemed to properly go through a cancellation while the others did. Alright. Someone said, what is your thoughts on the beauty community? My thoughts on the beauty community is that it's slowly coming back. And people were always talking about the fact that the beauty community was dying, and it was. It really, really, really was. However, we're seeing a lot of people really loving long-form content again, and that's what the beauty community is. And so I think that this year we are going to see a spike on it again. Alright, so someone said, what do you think about family channels, wholesome or exploitative? Exploitative. No further comment. No further comment. Someone said, do you still watch Colleen's videos after what happened? Love you, you're a light in this dark, dreary YouTube space. And that is the last question. Thank you so much, that's very sweet. Do I watch Colleen's videos? No, and that's not in a disrespectful way or anything like that. I just, you know, I can look at the Colleen thing that happened now, especially I feel more as an adult than I ever did. And I can just look at it and acknowledge that it happened and still think that it was incredibly inappropriate, but just like move on, you know, myself. Like, she has a family, I wish her the best, and I don't know if she would wish that on me, but it doesn't matter. But it's like, she can do her own thing, and like, I don't need to like keep up with her. I don't need to watch her videos the same way she wouldn't need to, you know, watch mine. And so my take on that now is that I just wish her the best. But yeah, that was a lot of rapid fire questions in one. This was super fun, so please let me know any other questions you have below, and thank you to those who sent them in. This was fun. Thank you for being here, Mucker, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.